Alright guys, let's talk about legendary cards. So basically the gist of legendary cards, from what I'm getting, from what Hi-Rez has released, is they basically want a system where it can increase the way you play different champions. So take Drogos for example. So you have 3 legendary cards. You have one that increases his jets by I think 65%. So you can kind of bounce all over the place and fly really fast. There's another one that increases the damage of fire spit by 30% and does damage over time for the next like 2 seconds. And the third one is that you do plus 50% damage on direct hits. So that gives you 3 different ways to play a champion. You can go with playstyle of mobility, which sacrifices damage. So you're getting less damage off of fire spit and less damage on the direct hits than you would of the other legendary cards. But you get a lot more mobility. So if you're getting chased, if the other team has a lot of flanks, then maybe that's the route you want to go. So you're not getting chased all over the map. Or if you are getting chased all over the map, you have the ability to get out of bad situations quickly. Now, if the other team has, say, a lot of kind of stationary champions, like a Barrack, a Ruckus, a lot of these tank characters, maybe a Tyra that doesn't have a lot of mobility, maybe you want to go for the 50% extra damage on the on direct hits. If you have good aim, maybe that's a good way to go for you. Or either the fire spit, the extra fire spit damage. And another aspect to this is that you can customize your loadout cards as well to kind of build on top of that specific play style. So you can add that on top of it, so it really gives a lot of different ways you can play a certain champion. And now that's just Drogos for example, but all these other champions have a wide range of ways you can play them, especially now with these legendary cards in play. There's a lot of different ways you can play them. Now, when OB44 originally came out, there was a lot, and I mean a lot of uproar. I was on Reddit every day just checking and seeing all these people that were just going off on this new legendary system. Now, a lot of it was that they introduced a new currency called Essence. And basically what Essence is you now have 3 currencies. You have gold, which is used to buy cards. You can now buy Radiant chests with them as well. You have, what are they called? I'll call them diamonds for now. You have the diamonds, and that can buy you like upgraded chests, exclusive chests. You can buy skins with them, and it costs real money to buy those. Now you do get those also from playing 6 to 7 day intervals as well. So you get that from that. And now there's Essence. Now Essence is only used currently to buy legendary cards. The only way you can get Essence is by getting cards that you already have, duplicate cards in Radiant chests, and it'll give you Essence back. Now it's not a whole lot of Essence. So this is why there was a lot of uproar, is because it costs 18,000 Essence to buy 1 legendary card. And there were 3, you got 1 legendary card just right off the bat automatically. You started with 1, and you had to buy the other 2 with Essence. So that's quite a lot. It's quite a lot. So that was the big uproar, is, okay, how are we going to get all of these legendary cards? It's going to be a crazy grind. Anybody who joins the game now is going to be like, this is so boring. I have to do this huge grind to get on the level of everybody else. And they were basically saying that no new player is going to want to play now because you implemented this system where it's just a huge grind fest, and nobody is going to want to play this big grind fest. They're just going to quit after the first couple of days of playing once they realize that they're going to have to put all this crazy time in to be, matched up with everybody else that's already been playing for, so many hours. So basically that's where they were coming from, and I totally understand. I was actually on their side as well. Now the nice thing is that Hi-Rez actually listened to us, and they came back and said, okay, we're going to make it easier for you to get essence. We're going to increase the amount of essence you get for duplicate cards. Great, awesome. On top of that, we're going to lower the amount of essence it costs per card. So instead of 18,000 now it's 12,000, which is great. It's a lot less. It doesn't sound like a lot, but 6,000 less per card. You know, there's 20 plus champions. That adds up a lot. I think it was, somebody did the math, it was like 200,000 less essence. So it's a lot of less essence that you have to get now. In addition to all of that, if you had bought the Founders Pack, if there was a couple different Founders Packs that you could have bought. I bought, like, I think all of them when they had them out. There's just one Founders Pack now, but there used to be like 3 different tiers. I think I bought all of them, and they were giving you, there was a certain amount of essence you were supposed to get now if you had bought the Founders Pack. So they gave that out to everybody. I ended up with like almost 400,000 essence off of that. So basically I could buy every single legendary card right off the bat. So instead of being like this big grind, now I basically already had all the legendary cards, and now I have essence that's left over because I get, you know, radiant chests every day for, you know, completing my first and second win of the day, and so on and so forth. So now instead of it being this big grind, it's like, okay, what do I do with all this extra essence? So basically it feels like they're in the same hole that they were in before they even released essence, because they're really, I mean, there is a gold sink, you can buy radiant chests, but I mean, if you already have all the cards, if you have most of the skins, the emotes, all of that, there's not really any point to buy the radiant chest, you know, it's not a huge gold sink. So personally, I think they need to come out with a new gold sink, something like that. But yeah, that's basically kind of a recap of OB44, what everybody thought about it, what I thought about it. I think the game is going in a generally good direction. They're leaning heavily on esports. You know, they're really wanting to get into the esports arena, so to speak. And I think that's a really good thing to do, because I think Paladins really lends itself to esports. You know, most of these champions have a really high skill ceiling, so it's, you know, it's not just learning a certain pattern or a certain movement on and on. There's like, you can take it way far, and we've seen that. If any of you watch any of the esports games, you know, you can see all these amazing players and how well they play them, you know, compared to, you know, me, or compared to other people, or compared to how you play them. They just take it to the next level. You know, it just goes to show, if you put in that time to learn the champion and to play, you know, against good players, and take that time to learn, you can really get good, and you can be, you know, among the best players in Paladins. And it's still a young game, and I think Hi-Rez is doing a good job of keeping in contact with their player base, especially on Reddit. I'm mostly on Reddit. I'm not really on the actual official forums very much, but I know that they really keep an eye on all of the Reddit posts, and they really take to heart what we say as consumers and what we say as players of the game. You know, they really do want to create a good game. I believe that. I don't think they're out just to, you know, get our money. Obviously, it's a game. They need to make money from it, obviously, so they can continue everything. But it doesn't feel like that's their main focus, and I think they're doing a really good job so far of listening to the community and replying back to us and changing things, which is something that you don't often see in this day and age with video games. It kind of feels like it's just a big corporation. There's like a lot of just gray areas, not a lot of stuff happening. So it's really nice and refreshing to be able to actually connect with the developers of the game that you are playing and actually have them listen to you. So that's really nice, and I really appreciate that they take the time to do that, because of course they could just have you know, they could kind of keep it more vague and all of that, but they actually take the time to listen to us, and they take the time to respond, and they respect our feedback as people that are playing the game, which it really is rare, so it's nice to see. Anyways, these were my thoughts on the whole system and kind of in general where Paladins is going. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about it. I know I kind of rambled on here, but I hope you guys kind of get the general gist of the direction where I was going. But yeah, feel free to talk about it down in the comments, what you think about the future of Paladins, what you think about the developers and how they're responding to the community. Yeah, just let me know. Feel free to like, subscribe if you really enjoyed it. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video.